Hello there everybody, this is Levi from Masculine Intuition Readings, and as you may have noticed, I've been kind of getting into the angel deck stuff lately with the Doreen Virtue challenge that I did, because I used to despise her decks and I thought they were way too woolly, way too soft. And I kind of started exploring that angelic energy after I had this really amazing experience. And I kind of wanted to get into it a little bit. So, my friend Martin sent me a bunch of her decks over. They are really, really cute. They are really of their time. I have a really cool ranking Doreen Virtue decks video up on my channel if you want to check that out. But, the problem I have with most of those decks is that, when an author does a lot of decks, you get a lot of repeating concepts, because you can't churn out deck after deck on these subjects without becoming a little bit boring. That's just the way it is, y'all. So what I wanted to do is grab me some decks that I already owned and a couple of new ones and talk about them a little bit. So this is essentially a video about cool angel decks that are not by Doreen, but that are still really cool to use. Small disclaimer here, I do not necessarily always like the authors of these decks. I'm not going to throw shade, but there's one in particular in that I am going to feature in this pile because the decks themselves are nice. However, I feel like there's no genuinity with this author at all. However, I'm trying this new thing where I'm trying to separate the tool from the author, because, the tool is the spiritual thing, the spiritual tool that you as a reader use to do great things. And I do believe we put way too much power into the hands of certain authors and kind of treat them as gurus, and I really believe that that is wrong. No one is better than another person. You're not, even to all the deck creators out there that haven't been picked up by a mass market publishing publisher, you're not less than just because you didn't get picked. However, there aren't a lot of indie angel oracles. I found all of these are mass market, so let's just get into it. One that doesn't get any recognition at all, but that I completely adore, is this Archangel Fire Oracle by Alexandra Wenman. Now, this is a deck by Findhorn Press. Findhorn Press is kind of a weird little publishing company. They do a lot of decks. And I feel like it hasn't been until recently that they've kind of found their own. They are also coming out with the new angel deck with Callista, I think, which looks pretty freaking cool. But I believe they did the Angels of Atlantis, which I'm not going to show here, but which is pretty cool. But it's just a little bit too old school for this video. I wanted to keep it a bit more modern. The Archangel Fire Oracle is essentially a really cool oracle deck that is very guidebook heavy. The guidebook is really thick, and there is a lot of information on these pages, a lot of stuff that you can do. This is what the backs look like. And this is a deck that I normally wouldn't like, because it has a lot of, it just has the angel names on the cards. Some of the imagery might be considered problematic. I don't really have an issue with it, though. I do love this art. I essentially got this for the art alone. It's really, 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 really cool, kind of campy as well. And I love, that this is all by the same artist. So I really jive well with these depictions of the angels. What you have to do, though, is for each angel, you have to, well, you can kind of read the card as it is. There's a lot of symbolism in the cards, so you can kind of figure out what that angel is about if you kind of cry for answers in the picture. But, you kind of have to use the guidebook with it. I do love it, however. It's So gorgeous. I love the way this deck looks. It kind of has that a little bit of a gaudy style, and yeah, it's really good. It's fun to try, especially if you're not that well versed in the world of angels like I am. The Archangel Fire Oracle is really, really, really good. And this is from an English author, which is pretty cool, actually. So yeah, this is definitely one that you have to check out if you're into angels, or if you're kind of new to angels and you want to study it. Another one that I really like is the Archangel Megatron Self-Mastery Oracle, written by Amanda Ellis, artwork by Jane Della Ford Taylor, and we're gonna be looking at more of her artwork soon, because this is the gorgeous Schiffer box, or red feather box, and then you have the book. I do tend to think these packages are a little bit wasteful. I mean, they do like provide an experience, but this definitely could have been, you know, put in a smaller book and in a smaller box. But you know, like, you can't always get what you want, I'd like to say. So the guidebook is really, really cool, really amazing. Yeah, this is a very usable deck. I do like that most of the cards are very symbolic, and then you get this like vertical stripe over here with the keyword and some extra information right there, and it's very usable. That's what I like. Now, the imagery in here isn't always necessarily that angelic. Like I said, I'm not going to be flipping through everything, making sure you guys can see the whole card, because, you know, I just want to give you a little sample, a little taste. But there are definitely some angels in here, and this is more dedicated to the essence of Archangel Megatron. So I do really like, I love that one. And I do really like this deck, and I kind of feel like I want to work, you know, maybe start working with these sort of higher energies for a longer period of time, because I do like them a lot. I do. I really vibe well with them, and they're just gorgeous. I mean, there's something about this art that I really, really, really like, and the backs are absolutely stunning. I would love to have this on my wall as a huge artwork. So the deck is going back into the box. It's really cool. I had never seen a deck devoted to Archangel Metatron before. I adore that. You know, the guidebook is pretty cool, pretty extensive. I feel like the writing really is really good and really adds something to the story. Welcome to the very first ever Oracle card deck devoted to the energy of Archangel Metatron. It was a 2-year process. Oh, really, really, really cool. So, yeah, it's a cool deck. It's really cool. I know I've already kind of shown this one before on the channel, but I did really kind of want to make a, you know, a little like new thing. Another deck that features Jane Della Ford Taylor's art is the Archangel Oracle cards by Diana Cooper. Now, I just recently got these, and I already knew what I was getting because some friends of mine have these. I really like Diana Cooper's decks. I don't really use them for readings with other people, because I feel like these are very much cards that you use for yourself. You can, I'm not necessarily Diana's biggest fan ever. She's really, really sweet, however. Whether whatever she writes and says is real or not, I do believe that she is super genuine and is living her truth. So, you know, that's good. There are a lot of angels in here, though, where I'm kind of like, I've never heard of them. Feels like they're kind of channeled by her. Archangel Mallory, never heard of her. Archangel Faith, never heard of her. But then again, there's also Marielle. But then again, there's also a lot of archangels in here that, you know, we do know. Archangel Dorenka. I mean, it's gorgeous artwork, though. I really, really, really like it. I think it's a really good deck. Do I love it? I do love it. That's why I got it. But is it like, you know, you just gotta know that whenever you get something by Diana, at least in my opinion, don't get it for don't get it for learning. Don't get it for it being based off of anything besides just her channeling. And, you know, you can either choose to believe in that 100% or take it with a grain of salt, or just enjoy the tool as it is. Like Archangel P, never heard of him, or her, but it's a cool card, you know? It's time to fly. So these are very usable. I do love this illustration. Very usable, very recognizable images and keywords. And yeah, I like them a lot. And Diana used to be published by Find Horn Press as well, back in the day when they did kind of really, really shitty decks. And then she switched to Hay House, which I feel like is a better fit for her. Another angel deck by her that I have is the Archangel Animal Oracle cards. And you're going to be like, what? Animals? Archangels? What? This is a really, really, really gorgeous deck with art by Marjolein Crouch, who is Dutch, just like me. And this is a deck that just features animals with these angelic essences kind of around them. I feel like the illustrations are really good. Marjolein is a really amazing artist. She also did the Diana Angel Magical Unicorns deck, the new one, the latest one she did. I feel like this is really, 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 really good and gorgeous. Honestly, I feel like people overlook this deck. I really love animal decks, and I feel like this may be one of the better ones out there. Pretty thick guidebook. Once again, features a lot of channeled information, and I wish she would be more upfront about that, because whenever she writes, I always feel like she writes as if it's the truth. But I feel like as an author who channels, you should show some discernment and always mention that whatever you're writing down is your truth, not necessarily the truth. But like I said, I do really feel like she's writing it from her most genuine point of view. What she does is she has the animal name right here, a little statement right here. I love this art. And then she has the archangel that is attached to this animal. It doesn't really talk that much about this connection in the book, which I feel is kind of, But what is kind of interesting is this is almost kind of like a companion deck to this one, where you could maybe pull an archangel from here and then see if that has any corresponding cards in this deck. Or the other way around. You could pull a card from here and kind of look up the archangels from that deck. So I do like the way it works. I adore this image. So I feel like this deck gets overlooked a lot. I kind of paid it dust when I first saw it, but it's actually really pretty. Look at that donkey. Like, what the hell? So it's a gorgeous deck. Marjolein makes amazing art. Just overall really good. Once again, look at the backs as well. I didn't even show them. And yeah, I just feel like this deck is really gorgeous. And it's definitely an Archangel deck. So yeah, there you go. Another really cool modern one that got quite a lot of buzz when it was released, and is kind of, the buzz is kind of dying down, which I feel like is a shame, is the Angels Among Us cards by Victoria Maxwell, also known as New Age Hipster, and illustrated by Ellie Grant. And this is kind of the modern angel deck, and I just realized that I forgot an angel deck that I'm going to have to get out of my boxes. So this is not necessarily just angels. This also features Ascended Masters and goddesses and gods. But this is a really, really, really modern deck. I really like it. I love the way it looks. I did have some... Look at those edges, by the way. I did have some disputes with some friends who were like, oh, these Hindu deities are portrayed disgustingly. And then other friends of mine that are Hindu were kind of like, you know, who cares? It looks gorgeous. Looks really good. Oh, look at him. Just keep it as it is. You know, the more people that know about our deities, the better. So, you know, the jury is still out on this one, but I feel like the concept and the idea behind it is really cool. And I feel like, especially for, you know, the generation that is living on this planet now, that is in the bloom of their life, these decks are needed, because, you know, all the old school angels in robes decks aren't gonna cut it anymore. So yeah, this is a really cute little deck. The backs are pretty cool as well. Don't know if you can see that, but yeah, you can get all of these still, and you can still get them all on Amazon, and I really like them. I think they're fucking awesome. So yeah. So another one that's rather modern, Angel Prayers by Kyle Gray. I love the way these angels are depicted in this deck. I never got this deck because I thought it was really triggering to me, especially with the prayers. I'm not really one for that. However, it's really cool because the angels look kind of modern, look kind of superhero-esque, which I think is cool. There's a lot of diversity in the deck. There's a lot of... I hate this design. I think it's really cheap. There's a lot of... you know, or not a lot, but there's some cultural diversity in it. I think it's cute. Why does Archangel Zadkiel always have to be a black guy, by the way? But you know, the deck looks freaking awesome. It looks really rad. I like it. I especially like this one because there's this Arcane Bullshit post on Instagram where Arcane Bullshit, it was a creator, has these cards and he replaces the text and it says, "Your bangs look like shit." So yeah, but this is sweet. I love this one. I really love this one. This is a cute little angel deck, pretty modern. You're gonna learn a lot about angels in general, so that's cute. I'm not the biggest fan of Mr. Gray as a person. Like with a lot of Hay House authors, I always have questions about the actual involvement of them in the creation of their decks. However, you know, who really cares? It's just a tool. Let's enjoy the tools. This is... Oh, sorry, I keep forgetting to show you the box. This is the Keepers of the Light Oracle. This is not necessarily an Angel Oracle, but this is more of an Ascended Masters one. However, it does have a lot of angelic energies in here. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I'm just bullshitting, and there's not going to be an angel in here at all. But yeah, here we have Holy Amethyst. So there are some angels in here. Not that many though, but it does kind of have that angelic energy, angelic frequency. It's cute. Like I said earlier, this is not a flip through. This is very Melchizedek. Here you go. This is very much, you know, just me kind of showing you some bits and bobs and just me rambling and talking. Archangel Michael, yeah. The Holy Spirit. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it a lot. I actually really quite like this. I etched this deck in yellow because of the backs, so it doesn't come like that. I did it myself. So this is maybe not necessarily that angelic, but you know, I just wanted to show it to you because there were some angels in there and the illustrations do look a bit more modern. Another one by him that I kind of dig, I think this is probably one of his better ones, the Angels and Ancestors Oracle cards, gorgeous box. I edged mine in this like sort of like copper brown, which I feel like really matches the backs. This is on that neat matte cardstock that they've kind of been using and kind of been going back and forth on. So this is very much angels and ancestors, so you won't have your archangels in here, but they will be called guardians, kind of. And then we kind of have all these ancestors and symbols, and yeah, I feel like they look really, really cool. This has a really healthy mix of masculine and feminine energies as well. And I do like it a lot. However, I did get some feedback from people. I did use this on some people I know for readings, and they did give me feedback that they thought it was a little too easy. My boyfriend literally told me, this is too easy. The questions you're asking me through these cards are too easy. And I was kind of like, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of agree. I do love the earthiness, the earthy vibe of this deck. So yeah, there's a lot of angelic symbols in here. I love this one. This is my favorite card in the whole deck. Yeah, it is very much an angels and ancestors deck. And yeah, I do feel like a lot of time was put into this. And yeah, so this is the second deck he did with that artist called Lily Moses. And then he threw Lily to the curb, or rather Hay House did, don't know why. And then they went with Jennifer Hawkyard, or Jez Hawk, for the Angel Guide Oracle, which is already, the foil is already damaged on the sides, even though I've only used this a couple of times. So that kind of sucks. Okay, interesting. Great quality, Hay House, great quality, that's what we go for. So the Angel Guide Oracle is absolutely stunning. There's a lot of angelic energy in this, but it's not necessarily, it's not at all about, hey, Archangel this, or Seraphim that. It's very much about, hey, this is just guidance from angels that you're getting. And, you know, it's very usable. I love that we just have this little banner down there with some text in there, so you can kind of create your own concepts around the cards. I feel like this is really cute. I feel like the art is kind of reminiscent of the Amanda Ellis and Diana Cooper artist deck. I keep forgetting their names. I may look that up later, but, you know, it's really cute. Like, I love it. I love it so much. It's really gorgeous. There's a lot of like gender fluid characters in this deck as well. So yeah, it's really, really cool. I really despise these backs. I think they're hideous. I much rather would have had a plain orange back, but you know, you can't have it all. I am kind of bummed out that this box is already so damaged though. Like the foil, look. The foil over here on the sides is already coming off, and I have barely used this, guys. Barely have I used this. So those were most of them, but now I kind of have to find that other deck. I hope I can find it quickly. Hold on. Found them. They were in the top of my favorites box, of course, where they should be. This is kind of what kickstarted it all. I was in London with Martin, and I got this on a whim, kind of, and it was my favorite. So let's look at it. This is kind of a weird story because Blue Angel basically acquired this art of Miki Okuda, who had already done a deck with this, and then they didn't do a translation of that. But they asked Rita Pietro Santo to write a new deck to the pre-existing art. That's what I kind of found out. It is gorgeous though, and even though this looks a little bit like old-timey, it's actually quite modern and quite anime, which I really love. Like, this is really high-quality Japanese art, and I adore it. I feel like it is absolutely stunning. And look at those babies. Oh, and I think this is really, really, really cool. Now, this is marketed as a deck for teens. I've said this before. I have to disagree. Look at that. Look at that art. Because it is very good. It's very direct. It's very awesome. Love this one as well. And it's just absolutely stunning imagery. I could get lost in this imagery. Oh man, like, look at that. The colors, I envy her for being able to create such great decks. So that was my last one. Now you have some ideas for like sort of more modern angel decks that are out there. If you know, don't want to spend $1 million on Doreen decks. Decks are just pieces of paper with words and art on them, and you are the one that creates the magic. However, I do feel like it's important that you get some tools that you are comfortable with. So I hope I gave you guys some cute new ideas. This has been Levi, and goodbye.